Welcome. Welcome everybody as you join me for the next 3 days. Hello. We're joining on YouTube as we're streaming live. Welcome, Facebook community. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, hello, Amy. Yay, my sister-in-law who's traveling now. I get to see you. Oh, awesome. Let me know who's watching. Just pop me a hello. You can comment. Hello, hello. Good morning, beautiful Lauren. Welcome. Hello, Steph. Oh, so good to see you. I see you. See, I see truth regardless. I see you guys all here, right? Hello, Stephen. Welcome again. I saw you this morning at 6:30. Here you are. Amazing. Alrighty. Well, I just want to welcome you to the next 3 days with me. It'll be 3 hours of your life to help you. My whole purpose of this is to really help you accept all of you at another level. And when we do come to this place, there's this feeling of wholeness. And from this feeling of wholeness, we are now, with the right thinking, such a powerful magnet of attracting and allowing in. So I think of something that Neville talks about. He said, the lovelessness never find love, and if we're constantly looking for that thing to make us feel worthy, that car, or maybe it's that, financial number, or maybe it's something else. Maybe you feel you need to be more disciplined. Maybe you feel you need to, have a better mindset. And the interesting thing is, yes, I teach you how to improve your mindset, but the way we improve our mindset and our way of thinking is also to accept the perfection of who we are. Okay, good morning, Carol. So this is really so important that you understand aligning with your divine is truly one of the most important things that you can do if you really want to be a happy person. If you really want to not just be happy, but attract wonderful things in your life, loving who you are right now without needing anything outside to happen, to change a person, a thing, a situation, is truly accepting yourself. So I want to kick it off this morning. It was interesting. I drew a card out. So I've got a deck of cards here, right? They're oracle cards that I love, right? I got love hearts. If you know me, you'll see there's love hearts in pretty much everything. And I thought, I'm going to draw out this deck of cards, and this one is for me right now. And it's so incredible what happened, because the same exact thing that came up was an idea I had to share with everyone here today as our assignment for day one. Our beautiful, let's say, heart evolving little thing that we're all going to do until tomorrow, right? So after day one, you can either do this on the call, you can do this after the call, whatever feels good for you. But the exact exercise came to my head yesterday, and this card literally had that exercise. So I want to read it to you because it's perfect. And the card here, and setting the tone for align with your divine, is called embrace. And really, can you see that it's about embracing yourself, embracing all of you? I can maybe guarantee this, that for each of you, there are things that you are still yet to have embraced. And there are parts of me that I have embraced more than before. And before I would reject those parts, those desires, those parts of me. And in rejecting that, I would always look to something else to make me feel better. However, the interesting thing about personal development and growth is the more you embrace parts of you, the more you start to love more of you, and the more you align yourself with the frequency of abundance, okay, and wholeness. Now, when I say abundance, that's wonderful things coming in your life, okay? If you want to increase financial prosperity in your life, then that's also calibrating your mind to having financially abundant thoughts. What I'm talking about is really the foundation of attracting greater abundance, okay? So embrace. I want to read it to you. A new opportunity is coming your way. To grasp it, you must love, accept, and embrace the many aspects of your personality. You can do this by listing all the things that you like and don't like about yourself. Include the qualities you are proud of and those that you try to hide and feel uncomfortable about or ashamed of. This is where the next few days we're going to dig up some dirt. We're going to dig up the dirt on the lies and we're going to release them to accept the truth. So in order to go there, in order to create more space and more abundance and let it in, we've got to release. You've got to release these limiting ideas and concepts of yourself. The beautiful thing, I wanted you to be able to look back at this and look at this recording and keep going over it and applying it and over it as much as you want. Okay, so include all the qualities you are proud of and those that you try to hide, feel uncomfortable about, or are ashamed of. List everything, the good or the bad, all right, that you think describes you. Look carefully at the list of things that you don't like and identify the positives in every negative. So I'll give you an example of that. Once upon a time, I've been trying to deal with, let's say, suppressed anger for years. I can be very fiery. I can be very calm and loving. So I was always trying to squash out that, call it that heat. But what I realized was it's such a huge part of what makes me me. I have a ton of desire. I'm a go-getter. That heat drives me forward. That heat propels me to want more. That heat propels me to express passion. That heat has propelled me to follow my dreams and my desires. That heat propels me to express myself. If I suppress that heat in me, I'm suppressing my flame. And without that flame, I'm flat. So can you see that in all these years that I've wanted to eliminate something, thinking it was a bad thing, it's been that driving force that's led me to become a better person. And so how many things have you been thinking are not good? Maybe too quiet, or maybe, shy, or maybe you're kind and you see that as a bad thing. Or maybe it's that you're really spiritual and you just love spirituality and you think it's a bad thing, blah, 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 blah. So understanding that when you start to accept all of you, those things that you have felt that maybe shameful about, there was a time I was ashamed to express my desire to want nice things, because when I did, I would feel like it was a wrong thing to want more. So when I started to lean forward and go, oh my gosh, this whole time I want this and I want this and I want this and I want this. I've been banking up all these lists of what I've desired, but never really expressed them. So can we start to accept that? The more we accept ourselves, the less we're going to judge ourselves. And the less we judge ourselves, the less we'll judge others. The less we judge others, the less negative energy gets put out and the less the ego is in control. So this whole process really of purification while we're here on this journey is really, to me, a process of coming back to love. It's coming back to who we are. And I promise you, the more you love yourself and accept more of you, the easier it gets for you. The happier you're going to be. And the happier you are, right, the better you're going to attract. I need to accept more of my fiery side. Yes, and I've been a huge testament to being someone that, like I said, I was always trying to suppress it. Can we suppress who we are and really be happy? Or can we really embrace it? And by embracing and loving it, we've diffused any negativity there or judgment. It's only that judgment that causes the damage, right? When we accept that fiery side, accept it as passion, accept it as desire, accept it as, oh my God, I love this about me. Now, because you love something about you, can you see you're not resisting it? In the resistance, we cause friction and in other words, beating yourself up. We don't want to do that. We need to really start to rewire the mind to go from beating ourselves up or judging or criticizing to honoring, to acceptance. So many ailments in the body come from judgment, rigidity, acidity, because of a lack of acceptance, right? And then diseases in the body that are, let's say, eating themselves, like growths or just things that are kind of out of control, especially when you're damaging your body is attacking itself, comes from consistent attacking of yourself in thought. See, the body is just a beautiful expression of the mind. And when we learn the dance of the mind and the body, we can look at the body and we can heal the emotions and release and let go. And in doing so, not only have we healed something physically, but we have healed something within us. And that allows so much more greater to come in. So our bodies, our minds, this is a beautiful dance to come back to the spiritual truth of aligning with your divine, right? Aligning with your divine. And I promise you, the more that you think good thoughts about yourself, like, I am awesome. Yes, look how far I've come. Look what I've created. I remember when once upon a time I wanted this, and look where I am. And you really appreciate yourself with this kind and loving energy, you become a magnet. It is what is the most attractive quality that is beyond words, that is beyond anything, because you are tapped in to your spirit. You're tapped into who you are meant to be. How good is it when you're not comparing yourself? And when you're not trying to keep up with anyone else, and you're not trying to prove yourself to anybody, you're not trying to live that game of worthiness, constantly seeking validation, when you can release all of that and come and accept who you are now, I promise you it's a freedom. It's like all this weight's just going to melt off, okay? Embrace and love who you are. That's exactly right. Now, here's the key, right? This is sounds so simple to do. Like, it's a simple truth. Understand that there's a little bit of conditioning going on and program and habit. And so this is really a practice, a reminder. And there are specific things that will help you come back home. I call it home because at the end of the day, I believe we came from the place and we're going to go back, and our spirit's just going to go into one form and in another form, and our journey continues. It's not like this is it. It's not like your goal is going to define your worthiness. One of the biggest things, I've said this so many times before, I wanted something so bad, and it was a material possession. And I put my worthiness on that thing. I needed it so bad that I felt worthless without it. It was really getting to me. I gave up my sense of worth for a material object. I'm going to ask each and every one of you, feel free to type it, right, so I can help you. What are you right now relying on is there something in your life, maybe to a big degree, maybe to a little degree, that you feel when you have that, when you do that thing, makes you feel more proud of yourself, more worthy? That you feel that you will be happier within you once you fill in the blank. And you may want to share what that fill in the blank is. Maybe it is, like I said, a dollar value, a goal that you achieved, right? Maybe it's a result that you want. Because I promise you, when you can feel whole without it and still desire it, it'll come to you so much quicker. Because you're not from an energy of not feeling worthy. You feel worthy and you are so excited about it. Does that make sense? It's coming from abundance because you're connected to abundance, right? Right. Welcome, Pedro. Nice to see you on. Enrique. Steph, growing my business. Yeah, so if we're attached to growing the business, and the business has to be at a certain level before we feel more worthy, before we can actually feel like we've earned something, like you can earn that rest on the couch, or you can earn that holiday, or you can go, now I can feel like I've done something great. You know, that we've given away our power, and I'm here to help you claim it back. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with having done that. There's only something wrong if we judge that. So it's not in the doing, it's awareness now. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Now I can reclaim it. I can come back to balance of who I am right now. Right? Clients for my business, living at Sea Eagles. Okay, so these things are still owning your worth. Okay, so business. Okay, so now what I really want you to start to think about is, how will you feel about yourself now that you've accomplished these things? Now that you are fill in the blank with your business, maybe you've achieved that thing. For you, Carol, it's living in that dream place that you've been imagining. How would you feel now about yourself as this person? Okay, how would you feel now that you have this successful business? Would you feel now, fill in the blank? Joyful, joy. Okay, so this vibration of joy is a clue for you, right, Stephen? It's a clue for you to understand that when you are feeling joy, you pretty much told the universe, I'm whole. Like, I feel whole, abundant. How awesome. Okay, when you feel abundant, then Jessie, that's you feeling this energy of whole, ease, plenty. All the worries have gone. All the judgment has gone. The needing, the pushing, the forcing. Can we start to see that this is where we want to stay and play? You can manifest so much more powerfully from this energy than from the force and the push. Okay? And it serves us. So here's the part of me that I've had to learn to accept more and more recently, is being that real, call it forceful energy, having that energy of the fire, but then the force. Well, that served me pretty well in a lot of ways too. I would get things done. However, it stripped away for many years a lot of joy, a lot of feelings of ease, a lot of relaxed energy, which is actually even greater abundance energy. And so things work for us to a degree. And then we have to unlearn that and start to accept. And what if it's easier than you think? What if actually you having that life that you want, achieving the things you want, is not so much about you pushing harder, but rather Are you accepting who you are and feeling whole without it? Feel whole without it. Feel worthy without it. Feel successful without it. Feel like you're a superstar without it. Feel amazing. Feel high on life. Feel so proud of yourself. Can we start to acknowledge that these are all energies of the divine? Like, this is when we feel divine, when we feel amazing, when we feel, like, I don't know, beyond words, that's alignment. But when we're down and we're grinding and we're pushing and you can tell by how your face looks in the mirror. Are you smiling or are you frowning? It's that energy. That open energy of abundance, of radiance, is attractive energy. You want to be in that state because that's universe gives you abundance. It's the energy of receiving. The energy of forcing and pushing is the energy of not having. And when the universe responds to feelings and vibration, it's responding not to what you say, but to the energy you put out. That's a basic law of attraction, right? So if you feel you need something, okay? Like I saw my son, he wrote a note, 3 reasons why I need a phone. And he's like, I'm practicing persuasive writing. I'm like, well, good try. So I saw it just before the call today and I thought, I've got to let him know that using the word need is lack. I need, rather than I would love. These are 3 reasons why I would love a phone. And so it's these little things that make the biggest difference. Okay? Calm, grateful, proud, joyful, abundant, peaceful, serene, arrived. Okay? Now, arrived in the now. So it's this energy of celebration of worthiness. Can we understand that you can attract even more abundantly from this energy than from the force and the lack and the need? Right? You can attract greater prosperity from abundant energy than you do from lack or needing it. And the thing is, you can have things from the need. You can force them into manifestation, so to speak. You can get it done now, right? Like kind of raising your voice with kids can get things done now, but that's not the way we want to live because that energy goes out. So can we practice attracting from a place of love? And it starts with you. If you want more love in your life, it's about loving yourself more. It sounds so cliche, but it's the way you talk to yourself in your thinking. The truth is, the way that we talk to others, especially those closest to us, is the way we talk to ourselves when no one's listening. It's the silent voice in our head. And what we want to do is we want to really amplify the loving, divine voice in our head that's cheering us on, that's talking to us in a proud way. And any of that critical voice, I promise you, it's not about fighting it. It's not about trying to go away. It's literally, that's an old program. And when you can understand and it comes up and you don't give it energy, you just let it flow through, that voice will weaken. But you've got to practice exercising that positive voice. If you don't exercise it, it's going to be as strong as it is right now. It's going to be as loud as it is right now. But if you've been practicing by default, exercising the critical, judgmental voice in your head, then that one's going to have some big biceps. And we want those biceps to shrink. We want the loving voice to have nice, strong biceps, okay? So we've got to strengthen that muscle. We have to do that, okay? So I'm going to give you a few things that you can do, all right? Number one of the things that you can do is gratitude. You've probably all heard the word, but do you gratitude about yourself every day? Do you gratitude about the things you love about yourself and the things that you're doing well. One of the quickest ways to increase happiness in your life, joy and feelings within you, loving yourself and accepting yourself, is to gratitude about yourself. Actually spend a moment acknowledging you. Okay, that's going to start to override that critical voice that says, oh, but I need to do this and I should have done that and I haven't done this and I haven't got this. That's not gratitude. Gratitude is abundance. Okay, it's not just about saying it, it's feeling it. Okay, gratitude really is the energy of abundance, and it's being grateful for you, grateful for the qualities you have, grateful for the things that make you you. So understand that that's one key thing you can do every day, is to write 5 things about yourself that you love and 5 things that you did well, that you're doing well. We need to strengthen that voice, especially, and I see this all the time, and I've got to keep doing this myself. I am not immune to this. In fact, the reason why I can teach this is because I've had to put in a lot of work in this myself. And on the other side, the beautiful thing is you feel wonderful and you attract greater things. But it's that feeling of feeling good within you, okay? More confident, more loving, more proud, okay? Worthy to receive. And so it's that voice that tells you how well you're doing. Because I can bet for a lot of you, that voice that tells you what you're not doing well can be quite strong as well. So we got to tone down that one and crank up that one, you know, and it really is this simple to start winning this on the inside, to align with our divine. Because the way I see it is, if we're aligning with this power, call it God, call it the universe, call it source, in its purest form, I think of a baby being born. When a baby's born, there's way less programming than a 10-year-old or an adult, okay? And there's just this beaming love, right? It's just pure love. And we just have to go and hold a baby to realize the energy of who we are. At what point did we stop seeing ourselves as pure perfection? At what point did we start judging ourselves or comparing ourselves or thinking that it's not good enough? That's learnt behavior, but boy, is it a damn big thing that happens to a lot of people. If we stay with this beautiful energy of divinity, talking ourselves with this voice, you will achieve way more than what you do with a judgmental voice. What helps someone perform better? Someone yelling at you at the back. Like, imagine you had someone yelling at you, right? Or someone encouraging you behind you. You can do it. Just a little bit further. You can do it. Come on, just one more. Yes, you can. I know you can. I've seen it before. You can do it. Or someone who's there going, you can't. Just quit. Just give up. Don't even bother. Da, 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 da. Right? So this is the dance. This is really where it's at. I promise you, this is not just saying this. The more I call it successful people, the people that achieve greater success, and you're included, if you look back, it just depends on the degree. If you want greater success, you're going to have to love yourself more. There's an acceptance. And I'm talking about true abundance. I'm not just talking about having a designer wardrobe, because maybe there's a lot of people that get plastic surgery that don't love themselves and are hoping to find that love by doing things. It doesn't mean that action isn't a good thing. What it means is, can you love yourself without it? That's really the question. Can you love yourself without that goal? When you can align yourself there, oh my God, it's going to start flooding in. Okay? Opportunities, everything will start flooding in. So that's the first exercise. Gratituding yourself on what you love about you as you are and the things that you're already doing well. Okay? So let me finish reading this because this is still going, right? Look carefully at the list of things that you don't like and identify the positives in every negative. Now you're having to find it, just like I did for all these years that I was condemning the fiery side, condemning it, not realizing it's literally what's created so much of my, what I would call success, my go-getter energy, my desire, my passion, my enthusiasm is just a natural thing because of this energy, right? So understanding, the more tuned in and tapped in you are with this power, you're living, you're awake, you're excited about life. Life in that you're alive. You're alive. It's not about existing. It's not ticking things off. You're living now. That's why we're here, to enjoy the journey. It's not about getting things, because we're never going to get it done. Sure, we can want things and love things and desire things. That's natural. Not depending on them for worthiness. Okay, so you go through the list, look at those negative qualities and actually then try and find the positives out of them. And you're going to start looking at that from a different perspective. I promise you, okay? It's going to expand how you see yourself. You are going to start to see yourself with a more divine lens. If the thought and feeling about yourself makes you feel good, it's the truth. Okay? If it doesn't make you feel good, it's a lie. Like if there's a thought that comes up and says, wow, that was awesome, way to go. You might just be in your head, maybe you did something you're really proud of, and that thought is loving and makes you feel good, that's the truth. If there's a thought that says, well, that was okay, but next time you should do this, this, and this, that's a program kicked in there. You will start to notice when you're aligned and when you're not by how you feel about yourself. That is your gauge. So how do you feel about yourself? Are you proud of where you are? Are you proud of what you've achieved? Are you proud of the way you are as a person? Right? Are you proud of yourself? So just these questions can start bringing things up, and it's okay. But it's about honoring them and going through the other side. Personal growth is definitely not for lightweights. Personal growth is not a band-aid, right? It's not a get-rich-quick thing. It's growth. This is exactly why we're here, is to grow. In order to grow, though, we've got to feel through things and let them go. I was telling this to Matt, I think it was yesterday. I said, I remember wanting love so much in my life. Like I would cry all the time. I needed it. I wanted someone to love me. I was the loveless, let's say, wanting love. So I was in the energy of not feeling loved, wanting love. And I said, what I would do though, in hindsight, I look back and go, I would release a lot of that emotion, letting it out. And then the next morning, I would visualize walking on the beach, feeling loved and holding hands, feeling adored. So it's a process of letting go and a new image, letting go and a new image. And then it's that feeling of love. So I was replacing ultimately feeling unloved to feeling loved and adored. Now, in hindsight again, I didn't have to go through such an extreme roller coaster, but the process is still the same. Feeling loved, feeling truth regardless of what you see in your five senses, right? That's why we have an imagination. So even now, as things come up for you, we want to release them, okay? And in releasing, you create more space for a more loving thought that's going to take root. You're planting seeds. But we have to uproot some weeds, not by finding them, but they will naturally start to come up. They will naturally start to come up. And you got to let them go. But guess what you're doing? This is personal growth. This is permanent change. If you're wanting to permanently improve the quality of your life, like I cannot relate to the consciousness now. I don't have those feelings of being unloved. I feel loved. I feel so loved. Like it just keeps compounding. And even I reframe the kids, if they want something or need something, well, geez, I'm so loved, right? So it's so not a part of my consciousness, but once upon a time, it was a dominant part. And this is the process of transformation, whether it's successful business or whether it's a partner or whether it's a lifestyle, whatever it is. It's your journey and it begins and ends with you. And part of that, a huge part of that, is how you feel about yourself, okay? Because you cannot be treated any better than the way you treat yourself. You can sometimes, but if it's going to be your dominant thing, it's going to be in harmony with the dominant feelings you have about you, okay? So that's the biggest thing here. It's definitely not for lightweights, absolutely not. But the beautiful thing about embracing who you are and loving who you are is you start to feel a joy, a love and peace that radiates beyond anything. Because there's also some people that are collecting things and ticking things off, still craving these feelings of love and appreciation within themselves. It's never going to be found in a material object. It's never going to be found in a trophy. It's never going to be found there. We think when we have that, we'll feel a certain way. But until we feel this certain way, we cannot have that thing and be happy with it. Does that make sense? This is about enjoying the journey whilst manifesting your desires, even more so with ease. Okay? So see perfection. I want you guys to just type in right now, what is one thing, one quality about yourself that you don't love? Right? What is one thing that you don't particularly love or you see as a bad thing? Right? You may see it as, maybe you can hear the voice of your mom or dad just telling you, gosh, you're so this or you're so that. And why are you so this? Right? And so now you're doing the same thing all these years later with yourself. Why am I so this? Right? Why am I so messy or whatever it is? And just type one thing. Seeking attention. Okay, so I love this because it shows huge vulnerability, and huge vulnerability shows such huge opportunity for personal growth. Okay, so seeking attention, and then you go deeper, right? Well, what is it? Why do I feel I need to seek attention? Right? Why do I feel I need that? And you start to go deeper. This morning, my son was going to school and he wanted to wear Matt's bike riding gloves. And he said, do they look cool? I said, yeah. And you really wanted to take them to school. And I said, why do you feel you need to look cool to impress people? I said, why do you feel you need to impress other people? And I can relate because at that age, I was probably doing the same with something else. Why do we feel we need to impress others to feel loved? Why do we feel we need others' attention to feel important? Why do we feel we need, right, that person's attention or some person's attention to feel valued? And it's just this addiction, right? These are like a habit. So when we start to go, wow, okay, hang on a second. It feels so much better when I feel whole within myself and then that person gives me their attention. I wasn't trying to get it. So we attract that attention in the first place when we don't try and seek for it. Okay, remember, it's energy, it's abundance. So these are all things that are coming up, right? My defensiveness, I'm serious, self-doubt, okay, loud. Okay, why am I so loud? Okay, so let's look at the positives here. What is the positives in this, right? So seeking attention, like what's good about someone who, what's a strength in that? What's a strength in that? Now you're going to have to look for it. Loud. What's a strength in being loud? Well, boy, you know how to project your voice if you need to, help someone in danger. Like, look at the strength. Hang on. If I have a loud voice and I have tuned it into a positive voice, I have a really loud positive voice in my head. Like, how cool is that? We start to go there. My defensiveness. Okay, so being defensive is an armor. It's an armor so we don't get wounded. Being defensive is a shield we put up so we don't get hurt, right? Because of da-da-da-da-da-da. There might be other reasons. So even understanding that, you can relate to other people that do that. So these are all your strengths. Like even Jessie, seeking attention. I was that kid. I always wanted attention. I wouldn't play up, but I would do it in other ways. Can we see that in our own crazy ways? All we're really wanting is to love ourselves. Isn't that insane? Like the things that, it's all masked in things, in these ideas, but it's really coming back to loving ourselves. Okay? I'm serious. All right. Well, serious is a focused energy. You get a lot done, right? But understand that you can be serious and have fun. You can be serious and loving. So start to welcome these thoughts. Welcome the defensiveness. Welcome the seriousness and the seeking attention, and talk to it. Like it's a child. It's a part of you being expressed. It's okay. How would you speak to a little child who's seeking attention? How would you speak to that person, a little child who's defensive, right? How would you speak to that child who's doubting themselves all the time? We really have to start to build up this loving voice, and all of these things will start to melt away. The seriousness and the doubt, right? All of this is going to start to melt away more and more and more, because you're not fighting it. You're not seeing it being something wrong. Because if you're judging it and putting a big red cross on it, you're just giving it attention. You're going to start being more that thing, right? Does that make sense? So now we're really diffusing it. We're welcoming it. It's like, let me hold you for a second. What's coming up? It's okay. It's okay. This has been the call to solidify what my intuition has been guiding me to, but I've been ignoring it. I need to love all of me more. Yeah. And you know what, Steph? I really think it's a constant thing as well. Like there's always more we can love ourselves. So don't feel for any one of you that it's, I'm not there yet. Don't have that mindset that it's a race. Okay? I'm not there yet. If that's a judgment thought. Say, I'm getting better. Like, sure, I love myself so much more than before, and I cannot wait to keep falling more in love with myself and accepting more of me. I know what that feels like. So it's a journey. It's a journey. So no, there's not like this person that's got this clock going, come on, you need to love yourself a bit more. We do that. We add that self-imposed pressure. And that pressure, once again, nothing's good or bad. That pressure's great because you're like, right, like you don't like to waste time. Like I like to make every move count. So that's a good thing because it makes me move and act on things, and things change and experiences happen. But it's not when it feels like pressure. Okay. I want to release procrastination. I seem only procrastinate on things that are going to quantum leap me to my next level. Everything else in life, I'm super organized and a go-getter. Yeah, interesting. So now recognizing that, the next time things come up, you go harder when it's trying. Does that make sense? So that's something I became aware of a while ago too. It's like, oh, every time, like on the other side of this, there's like a huge thing. Why do I keep procrastinating? Because there's huge growth in there, and that can feel a bit uncomfortable. Does that make sense? So embrace it. Embrace the growth. Don't run from it. Don't avoid it. Embrace the growth. Embrace the process. The truth is, if we're waiting for the process to be done, like we're done with it, or it's, I don't want it anymore, process is never going to end. It's our attitude towards it and how we use it for us. If we see that the universe is always for us, then everything is good. Every quality we've had, every action that we've taken has been the right thing for us to get us to where we want to go. What we've got to do is start accepting that it's been perfect the whole time. Accepting that that decision we made was perfect. Accepting that where we are right now is perfect. Accepting who we are right now is perfect. Because this divinity, this power, this energy source is perfect, and you're an expression of its perfection. So if you are, and we all are always connected to this energy, if we do not feel perfect, we're disconnected from it. So in order to use this power, we must feel its perfection. It's got to move to and through us. If we don't, it's like we've plugged out. So plug into the perfection of who you are. Plug in and understand that that decision you made that you've been doubting and yourself for years, let it go. Let it go now. Those things that you've been condemning yourself about, let it go. It's been perfect and served a purpose, let it go. See, we hold on to all of that. And we prevent greater abundance from coming in because we're holding on to older energy. It's like a rat race. It's like this voice loop in your head. Let it go. Make a decision that this is the call that propels you to such a greater understanding and love of who you are. Okay? It's so important. I love that, Lauren, that you're helping Steph, right? Holding the image. And see yourself as the person you want to be. See yourself as someone who loves themselves. See yourself as someone who really accepts all of themselves. See yourself as someone who feels really proud of who you are. Okay? Start to see yourself this way, but you've got to start to use your imagination for it, and then you've got to back it up. You've got to back it up with action. In other words, you're not going to judge yourself in your thought. You're going to be loving. The game is one thought at a time and one action at a time. Okay? See yourself as this person who is whole. Start to imagine, if you've never felt it before, just imagine what it would feel like. How would it feel if you really did love all of you? How would it feel if you were so proud of yourself? Invite these energies in. We cannot let them in if we're not even giving them attention. Okay? So understand the first step of aligning with your divine is to recognize it. It lives within all of us. It's right here, right now. Happiness that you're seeking, that fulfillment, that peace, the abundance, that prosperity, the wholeness. I'm going to keep it at that word, wholeness that you're seeking is already within. It's a recognition of it. Perfection is everywhere, but it starts within you. We will only see the world the way we see through the filters of our perception. As our perception starts to expand into, wow, and I love this about myself, and I love that, you're going to be way more, call it God in action, call it divine. You will be more divine as a person. And that in itself is magnetic. Now you go into business. Now you conduct your business from this energy. It doesn't matter what you do. It's like you're walking on golden steps because you're plugged into the truth of who you are. It's time to unlearn the nonsense that you've been waiting to change, that you've not been accepting of you. Okay? And it's time to allow more abundance in and more love in, okay? With practice, you will come to realize there are no positives or negatives, as every quality you possess serves a valuable purpose. Think of everything you guys just wrote down. Every quality that you have, even the procrastination, even the distraction, serves a purpose. It's not about trying to get rid of anything, but you can accept it and go, oh, and I would love to be more courageous in what I do. I would love to move forward into discomfort more consistently. Does that make sense? For the first time, if this is the first time you're hearing this, no more eliminating and wanting to eliminate parts of you. I want you to accept all of you and then focus on the parts you want to amplify. Now there's zero resistance energy within you. Okay? Accepting and loving all facets of you equally brings wholeness and balance. Through this, you are better able to see and grasp the opportunities life constantly presents. This is huge. You have expanded the way you're seeing the world because you've expanded the way you see yourself. Align with your divine, okay? So this is where it's at. So today, I want you, after the call, the first exercise is to do exactly that, right? All the positive qualities that you love and all the perceived negative qualities. And next to the negatives, I want you to find how it serves you, how it actually is good, and welcome it. And then maybe you can highlight the qualities you want to amplify, right? And bring energy there. Okay, we're accepting and we're amplifying. That's really the key for day one. Okay, you're so welcome. I love it. Thanks for joining me. All right. Well, let me know how you guys go. If you need any help, any questions that come up, tomorrow is day 2. We're going to do it at the same time and you can join us. If you're in the Facebook community page, you can share what you've taken away, your biggest nuggets, and also share what you experienced doing that exercise. This is about welcoming all of you, and just know that you are perfect exactly as you are without needing to change a thing. The only thing that needs to change is your perception of you. That's it, and that's what we're doing here. Okay, much love to each and every one of you. I'll see you all tomorrow. Mwah! Bye.